All right. Today is the day 2. I should say day 2 of the conference, which is done. Day 3 of vlogging. And it's all done. And it wasn't really that, it was informative, I should say. It was more geared towards the pediatric and adolescent crowd, and it was a lot of redundancy because a lot of the information was already very similar to the adult crowd, except some variations for pediatric and adolescent patients. So very similar information about obesity, so I'm not going to repeat really any information. There were some things that I learned, but I can save that for another video. I have more pressing information, but because I'm driving, I need to go hands-free to tell the story. So, hold on. Let me put this phone down and tell you the story. Highlight for the day, and I don't even really want to call it a highlight. I don't really even want to bring attention to it, but it really upset me. Was a colleague of mine, like somebody that works in my own institution, and I'm not going to call them out, but so it was just a matter of fact. It's a well-loved individual, a doctor that I work with, and I had found out that they were at the conference because we were both heading to the conference this morning, which is in another part of the hotel, and we were walking in at the same time, and we were just making small talk in the elevator, and she asked me if I was traveling a long way to get there, and I said yes. I said no, not that long. I said, of course, what city I was from, and then she said that she was from the same city, and then we kind of just were like, oh, like we were both from the same city, and thought that was coincidental, and then we thought that was kind of neat, and then all of a sudden, then we both were like, she was just kind of like, so what do you do? And I told her what I did, that I was a nurse and that I worked in this department, and then she was like, yeah, well, I work with this patient population, and with the new nonetheless, she gave a reason for why she was there at the conference with her bariatric and obese populations and reasons for being there, and she basically belittled me and my reasons for being there. She was like, well, you work in this department. She's like, why are you here again? What's your manager's name? And I was like, I told her my manager's name, and I said, I work in case management. I help these patients when they go home from the hospital, and I work with them on a day-to-day basis dealing with obesity. So I have every freaking right to be here at this conference. Like, what? Talk about young, like the wolves eating their young. Like, I was like, whoa, hey, hold your horses. And then she kind of just laughed it off and walked off. I'm like, who do you think you are? Why would you say that? I didn't even know where this was coming from. I'm like, who are you? Like, I've never had a one-on-one conversation with this doctor other than, like, I maybe have paged her in the past for phone calls for patient calls or whatever in previous job roles, but I've never, worked with her one-on-one. So I was just kind of thinking to myself, like, totally lost some credibility with me after that interaction, because I was kind of like, one, we're women. Us women should be standing together. We're healthcare professionals, 2. 3, we work for the same organization. 4, we're both here to better ourselves as healthcare providers. I mean, I could really go on and on. 5, we're learning about an epidemic such as obesity, which is facing a pandemic of our whole country, the world really. And so Why would I not want to be here? If I can afford it, if my manager is willing to send me here and she's paying for me to be here and learn, because this is a learning opportunity, why would I not be here? Everybody who's available to be here should be here and learn about this. It's not just for doctors. It's not just for healthcare providers who are doctors or specialty doctors. It's for anybody. And it just got under my skin so badly because she just was like, just like laughed it off and walked off like, I just didn't think that there'd be any reason for you to be here. It was just kind of like she looked down her nose at me like, whatever. So I just want to tell you all out there, let this be an empowerment message to you. Let me reach out to you and tell you that do not let anybody ever tell you that you're not good enough or that you have no right to be learning about anything. That you have the right to learn about anything medical, any education that you want. You have every right to be at a conference learning about any topic that you want to. If you can afford to go to be there, or if your boss wants to send you there, and if you are, it doesn't matter. If you're a housekeeper, if you're a CNA, if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your job title. If you want to learn, then go learn. Better yourself. It doesn't matter. It's just gets me so piping mad. Who does she think she is talking to me that way? In that tone. Again, it goes back to the principle of the matter. You never know at what capacity or at what point you're going to be meeting someone someday and you're going to need their help. You never burn a bridge, ever. You never cross a bridge and then burn it later because you think badly of them, or you look down on them, or you don't respect somebody, because that's ridiculous. You don't know. You don't know when you're ever going to have to cross paths with that person again in your life. And so you don't ever just treat somebody like trash, like garbage like that. That's just ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. And I have this problem, this pet peeve in other areas of my life with people treating people disrespectfully and like garbage like that. And you know how many times it's that I can give you an example of when it's turned around and it's burned them, and they're eating their own words, and shame on them for treating somebody like that. Oh, yeah, it will, and it will for this doctor too. So I don't believe in karma. What goes around comes around. But what I do believe in is that you treat each person respectfully. You treat each person the way that you want to be treated, and you then, in turn, it brings this world a better place. We all will get treated reasonably and respectfully. And you know what's funny is that the people who I sat with at my table, I sat with a psychosocialist, a social psychologist, I don't know, and a surgeon. And through the whole conference, the whole weekend, I was very friendly with those two individuals. I looked at those two individuals as equals in this conference, in this situation. We exchanged stories. We were pleasant with each other. We were respectful of each other. And I'm sure if this doctor who treated me terribly by saying those comments were to have sat at our table, we would have embraced her in on our conversation too and treated her just as respectfully. So, I don't get where she comes off talking that way. And, I don't know. Maybe she had a bad morning. Maybe I'm taking this all wrong. Maybe I didn't hear what she really said, or I took it wrong. But let me tell you, I don't think I did. So that's my morning. That's what happened to me. So again, let this all just be a lesson to you all out there. Do not let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't let anybody dictate the way that you're feeling just because they have some comment to say. Don't let that ever stop you or deter you from learning or doing. You just keep doing. You just keep going out there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That should never stop you. And I went back into that conference this morning, sat there proudly, learning and keeping up with the conversation just as much as anybody else in that room. I had no problem. Yeah, sure, maybe there was a couple big words that I didn't follow along with, but guess what? That's where it challenges you. You write down those big words and you go ahead and look it up later and you continue to learn, because that's what life is about. You just keep learning. You don't let that be a roadblock to stop you, and you certainly don't allow some other person's perspective or words deter you from being amazing. So, PSA announcement, public service announcement for the day. Go out there and be amazing, everyone. So that's it. I just want you all to know that I love you all, and I want you all to have a good rest of your day and be amazing. And no, I'm not going to cry. I think it's just so silly. That woman just worked me up, and for no good reason. Whatever, I'm going to move on from that. I just thought that I would share it with you guys because it is important to know that there's not one person that can define you as an individual. My definition is a child of God and a woman of Christ, and someone who is always willing to learn and move forward and better herself. So, I don't know what that woman's problem was today, but it certainly is no inclination as to who I am. So, let's see. I think that's it. I'm going to end this vlog for the day on a good note. And I think I probably will just tack this on to my yesterday's vlog. And yeah, I think that'll be done for the weekend. I'm going to see about bringing you guys some more vlogs that are more medically related, and see if that's something you like. You guys let me know. You let me know what you want to hear about, because again, I want to bring you something that's relevant to you. I don't want to bore you, but again, it has to be interesting to me, but I want to bring you along and give you some content that's something that you want to listen to too. So I'll probably put out a couple videos this week that you think that I'll just kind of test the waters out, and if it's something that you like, let me know by giving me a thumbs up on the videos, maybe engage, leave me some comments, and then I'll know to continue with those videos. Otherwise, if it turns out to be an utter failure or a big flop, then I go back to my old style videos and kind of just keep on going and doing my own thing. All right, everybody, take care. We will see you next time. Thanks, everybody, for watching, for my loves and my hugs and all my support from you guys. Take care. We will see you next time.